This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the town of North Haven.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our July Board of Selectmen meeting. I'm Mike Frieda, North Haven's first selectman, joined by our second selectman, Mr. William Piper, and our third selectwoman, Ms. Sally Boemi. Welcome. I'd like to ask everyone to stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item number 2, are there any public comments to tonight's agenda?
Yes, I have one. We recently received a correspondence, too recent to put it on the agenda. So I'd like to amend the agenda and add a 4A for correspondence.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to do so.
Is there a second?
I'll second Sally's motion.
All right, any other discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
So that will be 4A, between
4A.
4 and 5.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, very good. Item number 3, approval of the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes of June 6th. Is there a motion?
I'll make,
Go ahead, Sally, I'm
I'll
sorry.
make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second those minutes.
All right, motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
And now, motion for the approval of the Special Board of Selectmen's meeting, the minutes for the Special Board of Selectmen's meeting of June 12th, 2024.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
So item number 5, I have 2 items I'd like.
We have 4A.
4, I'm sorry, go right ahead.
Yes, correspondence, we amended the agenda. Yes, all 3 of us received a very long and thoughtful letter from a longtime town resident named Sandy Ginter, and since all 3 of us received it, I thought it was appropriate that we acknowledge it and thank her for her thoughts. We always enjoy hearing from people and encourage others to write to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
I agree with, with Sally's comments, and, we definitely are thankful for, anybody providing feedback to us, or in the case of and also taking the opportunity to attend our monthly Board of Selectmen meeting, which I think is important.
Yeah, she did not ask for it to be read, but we thought it was appropriate to acknowledge
Yes.
and thank her for contacting us. Okay,
Okay, thank you, Sally.
sure.
Item number 5, I'd like to just explain 2 things. So, unbeknownst to many people, our senior citizen tax ordinance that was established about 5 years ago has sunsetted and expired. There were approximately 37 to 50 senior citizens on that plan. Many of the senior citizens have called us asking if the plan is going to be reinstated. So I wanted to let everyone know that what we've been telling our senior citizens is that there's a process involved with this. It's not just a matter of somebody, in this case myself or this board, just automatically redoing the ordinance in terms of reestablishing it. So what we're going to be doing at next month's meeting, we're going to be showing the Board of Selectmen an updated ordinance that'll go to a town meeting in September, where the residents have to vote, and to see if the residents will reestablish that senior tax freeze. So you'll see the different components, Sally and Bill, at the next Board of Selectmen meeting in August. And the plan will be, once again, at the annual town meeting, that will be presented to the public for a vote. So I wanted to start with that to let everyone know. A lot of the seniors were very concerned. And also, I just want to share something with you. For many years, I have thought about and have received a lot of feedback from hundreds, if not thousands of people in 15 years about the fact that North Haven does not have a center block district. And by definition, a center block district is what you would see in the center of Madison, as an example, or in the center of Brantford, or in the center of Guilford. All beautiful center blocks with stores, coffee shops, ice cream shops, local businesses that are nestled around the individual municipalities' town green. Now here in North Haven, it's never been accomplished because our center block district is primarily government buildings. With the town hall, we have the American Legion, we have a private owner on the corner of a church in Lindsley. We own the building next door to town hall. There is a private owner that has Taste Buds and those stores there. And then when you go around the corner, we have the firehouse. We do own 2 of the buildings there. On this corner on Lindsley, it's the police department, it's the annex. So it's been difficult for my predecessors to figure it out, as it has been for me. I often thought about and had developers that were interested in developing the back of Lou Dow's, the soccer fields there. But, you know, I try to listen to everybody's opinion, and the soccer program is very, very important here in North Haven. Approximately 600 to 800 young kids who play soccer, and it's used all year long. So we never could leverage the contacts that I developed down through the years to create a center block district, a mini West Farms Mall, if you will, in back of Lou Dow's. So that failed, because we can't just eliminate soccer fields. So I have never given up on this, failed on a couple of occasions in identifying a location, but now we have an opportunity. And I'm going to just speak in a general fashion here. I am working very closely with a developer who built a center block district in Oxford, Connecticut. I've been there. We have a location here in town, a property that he owns. So over the course of the next 3 months, we're going to be meeting with the public. I'm going to be hosting individual public meetings. And then I'm going to culminate that with a major meeting at the high school that all of the public is going to be invited to attend. And I'm going to be presenting with the developer a district that wouldn't be too far from here. That would include restaurants, coffee shops, perhaps a small grocery store. There could be a healthcare component like Hartford Health. There could be apartments, housing, on a scaled down version of what exists currently in another town. It could be a game changer for the town of North Haven. It could be $1.5 to $2.5 million in taxes. But inevitably, with development comes traffic. So I'm going to be asking questions, we're going to be presenting. You'll probably see, for those that come and attend, a video of what it would look like. An identification of the type of businesses, stores, restaurants, coffee shops that'll come. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, there'll be more on this. It's under the category of a destination for North Haven residents, a center block district. It could include a gazebo, a separate set of concerts, 1 night a week. It's really a fabulous, fabulous type of concept. The question is, can we incorporate it into an area that may produce more traffic? That's kind of where the downside would be. I love this project, ladies and gentlemen. I think you'll like it too when you see it, but stay tuned. Everyone's going to be invited to attend. And that's all I have to say at this point right now. Thank you. All right, item number 6. Bill and Sally, would you like to handle this?
I just wanted to mention even before that, but thank you for doing that, because I know it's come up a number of times over the years, and I think that's all part of continuing to make North Haven a very attractive place for everybody to live.
We have a valuable asset here in the town green. Now, we'll go back to the subject. Tuesday night was a good example. You know, I go to the concerts every Tuesday, I announce the sponsors, I'm in the crowd, I'm dancing with the senior citizens, and I talk to hundreds and hundreds of people every week. And we get people from Danbury, Manchester, Waterbury, East Haven, Hamden, West Haven, Brantford, and Madison come to our concerts that I know, and probably other towns. I know Wallingford, a lot of people come from Wallingford. They love coming to North Haven. They love coming to North Haven because of the green, because of the fact that we have 15 concerts a year, and I'm adding another concert for 16. That's going to go through September 10th. They like the fact that they feel safe because we have police, we have fire, we have the CERT team there. They love the ambiance of being there, and a lot of times I hear, for one night during the week, Mr. Fried, on a Tuesday night, I hear this from our residents also, we could come, put all of our headaches aside, and we can enjoy ourselves for 2 hours. So that ties into this concept that I just mentioned. I think North Haven would love it. I really do. When you see it, I think the residents of North Haven will love it. But it remains to be seen if it can get passed. But I can tell you this, it's going to be presented because I have an interested developer and we have interested businesses that want to be part of it. When I say businesses, I'm not talking about office buildings, I'm not talking about manufacturing facilities or contractors. I'm talking about restaurants, a grocery store, and the things I mentioned earlier. Coffee shop, ice cream shop, those type of businesses.
I have just a few questions. You started your presentation about the Center Block District by talking about the buildings in this block bordered by
Right.
Church and Lindsley, Elm and Broadway, and differentiating the publicly owned buildings and privately owned. So a Center Block District, is that that's a statutory, is there a statute that authorizes something to be classified as a center
It's my words, those are my words.
block district?
I call it a center block.
Okay,
district,
so the ownership of the property does not have to be private versus public or public versus private?
Well, if you look at the city.
You made that differentiation, that's
right.
why I'm asking.
If we look at the municipalities I mentioned, it's really, they're all privately owned businesses. So it's on either a state road or it's on a city road. But a center block district is a euphemism, if you will, for how to describe it so the public would understand it. A district of businesses and shopping and stores and restaurants. So it's the Mike Fried Awards. It's not necessarily a statutory thing.
Sounds like you're describing Route 5, but, so it's just, but it's a smaller area, I
Yeah.
would assume.
Yeah.
Because I thought I remembered some distinction that a town can have for a district within their town, but it had certain qualifications. But this is not this.
No.
This is just a development that you're calling a center block district.
Right.
Okay.
That
Well,
name,
we'll
by
have
the way,
to-
that name may evolve into another name, but I hear from the residents, how come, Mr. Frieda, can we get a center block district? So I'm using the words from the residents, and that's why I describe it.
Okay, well, that might mean a lot of different things to different people. That's why, and to me, it meant more of a municipal development. Okay, well, I'll certainly be in attendance of these public meetings to learn more about it.
Very good.
Okay?
All right. Okay, next.
Yes, I will start here. We have I will make a motion for the resignation of Thais Moore from the Board of Education, term to expire November 30th, 2025.
I'll second that, her resignation.
Under discussion, I'd like to thank Thais. I really appreciate your service, Thais. I remember it was years ago you came to see me. You were considering being a member of the board. I thank you very much for your service. We're sorry to lose you. And once again, thank you for your years of service, Thais. It was a pleasure having you on that board.
Yes, I believe we appointed her 2 years ago when there was a vacancy, when Jen Chicarelli resigned. Okay.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next.
A motion for the reappointment of Alden Mead, 200 Rimmon Road, as an alternate to the Blight Prevention Appeals Board for a 2-year term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second?
Okay, Alden, thank you very much for your continued service. We appreciate it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next.
I will make a motion for the appointment of Benjamin Lobick, 8 Forest Avenue, to the Building Board of Appeals to fill the vacancy of Peter Furman, term to expire December 31st, 2026.
Is there a second?
I'll second that appointment.
Peter passed away. If his family's watching, our deepest sympathies and condolences, and we thank Peter for his service. And Benjamin, I know well. I just saw him the other night. I told Benjamin that he'd be on the agenda. I think he's going to be a great addition to this board. So thank you, Benjamin, for being willing to serve. All those in favor?
Aye. I'll motion for the, make a motion for the appointment of Genevieve Cabrera, 42 George Street, to the Board of Education to fill the unexpired term of Thias Moore, term to expire November 30th, 2025.
A second?
Okay. Genevieve is here tonight. We worked very closely together on a couple of projects here in town. We endorse you, and we're thankful you're here. Welcome aboard. All those in favor?
Well, I have a quick comment.
Yep.
Yes, I think that Genevieve is well qualified for the position and has an impressive resume. We recently appointed Genevieve to the Community Services Commission. You don't have to decide now, but I was wondering, do you intend to keep that position, or with the time constraints of the Board of Ed? You're
Currently, right now, I'm planning on keeping both of them because the other one is kind of less strenuous. I think 4 or 5 meetings a year for that one. So right now, I'm going to try, but to do both. I'm confident I'll be able to do both.
Community service, okay. So I started my town government career with community services, and we worked a lot with the Board of Ed. Now, that was many years ago, so maybe it's changed and there isn't a lot of cooperation between the Community Services Commission and the Board of Ed. But back when I served, and I admit, many years ago, there were programs that we worked together on, like Safe Rides. I was the liaison between the Community Services Commission, along with the Police Department and the Board of Education. So if something like that were to come up, there might be a conflict, but
There already is a
short.
Board of Ed member on the Community Services Commission.
Oh, okay.
Ron.
Oh,
So there already is one. So I'm assuming that because he's been on it for a while, that it hasn't come up as a conflict of interest.
okay. I was just wondering, because I had served on it, and I remember that clearly.
And
So, yes.
Genevieve's point, Ron's the chairman of the Community Service Commission.
Oh, he is?
And-
Okay. Oh, I
and the
knew he
chairman of
was
the Board
on
of Ed,
it, but
so-
I just wondered, because we just recently appointed you, so.
Yeah, I've
you-
only been to one meeting so far, and it's a great group. I'm really happy
Yes.
to be there, and hopefully I'll be able to
Well,
continue that work.
I'm sure you'll be able to handle both, although the Board of Ed is time consuming. So welcome aboard again.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next.
Oh, yes. Make a motion for the appointment of James X. DiCarlo, 27 Surrey Drive, as North Haven's representative to the South Central Regional Water District's Representative Policy Board for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2024, expiring June 30th, 2027.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, in the discussion, the way this works is that this board, this appointment will have to go to a town meeting. This particular position within this government, the liaison for the RWA and the town, we start here, and then we take it to a town meeting, which is July 25th, Valerie, right?
Right, we'll be calling for that shortly.
Shortly, okay. So as far as this item here, all those in favor?
Aye. I'll do 11, which is, I'll just go through it all, and then we can
Yes.
talk about it if that is deemed appropriate. To consider and act upon a resolution authorizing First Selectman Michael J. Frieda as the chief elected official of the town of North Haven to submit an application to the State Department of Economic and Community Development for $500,000 in order to undertake an Urban Act grant and to execute an assistance agreement for the upgrades to the DeMayo and Bailey Athletics Complex project. So I'll make a motion resolved that the town of North Haven may enter into, with, and deliver to the State of Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development any and all documents which it deems be necessary or appropriate for an Urban Act grant of $500,000 for the upgrades to the DeMayo and Bailey Athletics Complex project located at 222 Maple Avenue and 55 Bailey Road in North Haven, Connecticut. And be it further resolved that Michael J. Frieda, as first selectman of the town of North Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents on behalf of the town of North Haven and to do and perform all acts and things which he deems necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents. Michael J. Frieda now holds the office of First Selectman, and further, he has held the office since December 1st, 2009. I'll verify that.
All right.
So I'll make that motion.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Just for the point of explanation, with Bailey Field as an example, these are grants that we applied for. We've done a lot of work at Bailey Field, put a new regulation backstop there. We re-fenced the area there. But in the original allocation, we didn't have enough money to do some other things. And one of the things is irrigation for the field. So the irrigation for the field is very, very important. So that's one of the components of Bailey Field. Over at DeMayo Field, there's some things that still needed to be done even after our bonding package went through. So we applied for the grant, and you'll see some other enhancements and additions at both the DeMayo Field baseball and softball. And it's when these grants became available, we noticed this, we applied for it. Lynn Sadowski did a great job in the application process, and they allowed us to complete an entire project, both at Bailey and over at DeMayo Field. So this is all a good thing for the town, ladies and gentlemen. And a part of this is a pole vault track. Part of this is walkways between dugouts for certain fields here. So it's another enhancement. And we're already hearing from people in town who say, boy, you know, things are really improved over there. The track, they see the grandstands over at the fields over there between the middle school and the high school. And it's part of our goal to have a great optic here in North Haven. And as a result, here's what's happening. There are more and more people who want to move to North Haven. There are bidding wars in the streets when houses go up. That's part of it. The sports facilities, education, services that are offered. And we're seeing this now. More and more people are looking to move to North Haven. Now, this isn't just Mike Frieda's opinion. I'll give you an example. Last night I was at Anthony's Ocean View at a major event, 700 people there. I'm in the crowd talking to people. I've talked to 3 residential real estate agents, all women, none of whom who live in North Haven. They were telling me this same thing, that North Haven is hot right now from a standpoint of people that want to move into town. So it validates the importance of continuing to try and improve infrastructure here. Because think about it this way. If you had a town that was in decay, people wouldn't want to move here. So I think we're seeing now a byproduct of all this work that we're doing through grants or that we've done through bonding. So that's what I heard last night. Okay.
I just had, first of all, I always support grants. I love grants. Grants are good. And I am and always have been a supporter of athletics in many ways here in town for many decades. But I just want to get some clarification, because I remember reading last week an article, I think it was in the Courier by our friend Aaron Rubin, where he reported that in June 7th, the town was awarded an Urban Act grant for $500,000. Is that this one, or is this an application for another one?
Well, I didn't read his article, but
Okay.
I think this one is the one he was referring to, so.
Okay, so has it been awarded yet?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so, because we're resolving to authorize you to apply for it, so is this just a little out of order, which is, I'm gonna vote for this, I just
Okay.
wanted
It's
some
always
explanation.
out of order.
Okay,
It's always out of order. We always apply for the grants first, and then when they're awarded, then we have to do this resolution in order to accept the package that they send to the town.
I see.
So the word apply is probably, shouldn't really be in there, but it's the state's language, but we've already applied, it's been awarded, and now in order for Mike to accept the funds, or the town to accept the funds, we have to have this resolution.
okay, so it's already been applied for. Now, I remember when we did some bonding for a lot of different, for drainage and all sorts of different issues in town. There was a $3.5 million bonding for the athletic fields. And a lot of those bonding projects, and again, I'm just going from memory, because I think it was a couple of years ago, we were anticipating grants to kind of offset some of the bonding that we were authorizing. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was.
Is that one of these?
No.
Okay.
What you're referring to is the infrastructure upgrades, like, let's say, as an example, Kings Highway, okay, the bridge that was gonna be redone.
Yeah, but it also included $3.5 million for athletic fields, and it included moving DeMayo Field, because moving the plate,
Yeah, no, these
they're
are-
moving the field. This is something separate.
These are additional items.
Okay, so one of the things that was listed in the article, which, again, I take what I read in the article with a grain of salt, but you did mention the Javelin runway, which was in the article. They had 133,000 referenced in the article for tennis resurfacing. I thought that was in the original bonding, because I remember talking about tennis.
Well, we could
at the-
look,
at the-
but the
at the
tennis,
town meeting.
the tennis is part of this for the Maple Avenue courts that have to be repaved, so.
Right.
But, so the way you described the article, he's right about that as it applies to this grant.
So is the resurfacing something in addition that was part of that $3.5 million? I mean, I'm just,
Yeah, I don't.
this is supplementing that project,
Yeah, these
I
are
understand.
These are supplemental items, right?
Okay, so they're not something that there wasn't enough money to do.
Well, technically, we had after our bonding, we had to value engineer some things that we couldn't do because the cost came in more than the bonding package. So the idea of these grants is to add on the things that we couldn't get done.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to clarify that, and thank you, Val, for reminding me of the process. It's hard to remember everything,
Yeah,
but
it is.
this is normal for it to go in this order.
this order.
Again,
Yes.
I am going to vote in
yes.
favor of this,
Yeah.
I'm supporting it, but there were a few fuzzies in my
Normal,
mind.
but maybe not logical, but.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
but it's out of order, you're out of order, everybody's out of order. But,
Yeah.
so the out of order element is normal, it is the state. So I just wanted to clarify that this is an additional grant not related to that. It wasn't the grant that we were anticipating to help offset, remember?
Yeah, I remember
that?
that, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. I just
Okay.
wanted to clarify that. Like I said, I support all grants that we receive, and I would like to echo your comments about Lynn Sadowski. She does a great job, very thorough, professional in her pursuit of grants on behalf of the town.
Outstanding,
So
yeah.
I would like to join you and thank her, join you and Bill in thanking her for her dedication.
We need a vote
We
on
did vote,
that.
so,
Yes,
all
Yeah,
the,
I think, Mike, I think this was maybe what Sally was referring to, and I think those aren't listed. Like with this one, these grants aren't listed in that group of grants.
okay,
okay, very good.
all
that We
right,
had, I knew I had a copy of it from before.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
all right. No problem.
All right, we'll call for the vote.
That was a good question, Sally. I mean, I fortunately still had the the list of things that we did recently in terms of bonding and grants.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Okay.
But I'll make a motion to.
We already
Sally
motioned
made
and
the
seconded,
motion. We
it's
just
time
need
to vote.
Oh, I'm
We have a
sorry.
motion and a second, we just
Oh, we
need to
did.
vote, please.
All right, all those in
I lost
favor?
track, I'm sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is I'll make a motion to resolve that a special town meeting be held on Thursday, July 25th, 2024, in the second floor conference room number 1 of the North Haven Memorial Town Hall, 18 Church Street in North Haven, Connecticut, at 5 p.m. for the following purposes: to ratify and approve the reappointment of James X. DiCarlo as the North Haven representative to the Representative Policy Board of the South Central Connecticut Water District.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for that vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Number 13, we have bond releases. I'll make a motion to approve P 2320 regarding 36 Broadway. The amount of the original bond was $2,500. The current balance of the bond is $2,500. And so I'll make a motion to release the entire bond balance of $2,500 with the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission. And their recommendation and supporting documentation is in the packet. So, there you go.
Is there a second?
I'll second that bond release.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next.
And then I'll motion to approve the one property tax refund for this meeting, which is a small amount as it is in past meetings.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Is there a second?
Second?
All right, motion second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, item number 15. The next regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen is Thursday, August 1st, here at the conference room at Memorial Town Hall. We are at the point, ladies and gentlemen, of public comment. Any public comments? Mary White.
Mary White, Summer Lane. I just have 3 topics, but not a lot of questions. So the concept of the center block district, would it or would it not qualify for grants?
No, it's private development. The town's
Oh,
not funding it.
private, okay.
Yes.
So that's a no, okay. When and where will the center block meetings be posted?
We haven't gotten to that point, Mary, but I think that the way it would work is this. We would make an announcement at the Board of Selectmen meeting. We would post it on the town website, and we'd end up posting it on the town Facebook site. Then I'm going to probably do some newspaper interviews, and we will promote it that way also. So that's kind of the original thought right now.
Okay. And where will they be held, the ones before the town meeting at the high school?
Well, the big one will be at the high school. The first one will be with the neighbors in the area where the project is intended to go. And then those neighbors and the rest of the public will be invited to the high school. And the plan would be to do this before the public meetings of wetlands and planning and zoning. So in the end, these don't replace those meetings.
Right.
This is to get feedback, and then the public meetings will continue through wetlands and planning and zoning.
Okay. Let's see. So the next topic is about paving. So we know prices of everything have gone up, and we appreciate paving roads is included in the budget. Can you tell us how many miles or mile are going to get done in this new budget?
Probably 0.
0, okay.
Yep.
Wow, it's that bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, when the first budget failed, the second budget, these costs have gone up tremendously. We've paved roads, paved roads every year. So right now, there's no plan on doing any paving. Could that change? Possibly, but the cost is just, it's ridiculous these days.
Would this be the first
Yeah, it's
year that?
Well, I think
it's
there was
not?
one other year years ago, we may have taken a
Because
hiatus.
consistently,
Right.
we've been doing it, okay.
But we're already assembling a list of roads for next year. So-
Yes, okay, yeah, that was getting to my next question.
Mary, excuse me, the cost of paving isn't really in our budget.
No.
We have to get a recommendation first from the Board of Finance, then the Board of Selectmen, to recommend that we bond
Right.
for paving. So obviously, the interest, the principal and interest payment for that bonding, we've usually been bonding between 2 million for many years, and then it went up to about 2.6. The interest payment of, and principal is part of our budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the cost of paving is not. in
Yeah,
our
I know.
budget. Okay.
I know, yeah.
Well, it sounded like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't word it right.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
but
wanted
yeah,
to
no,
make
I
that
know.
clear.
Been
Okay.
around a long time, but
Mary,
I
can
know.
I further answer this for you? So, we are contending with multiple things that need to be done here, okay? Despite everything we've tried to do. There may be a bonding package at a smaller number on another project. But right now, as we sit here, I don't see a paving project bonded at $3 million this year. I
Right,
really
yeah.
don't.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I see that too. Okay,
One more thing, can I say, if I can cut in on, about paving in general? I don't know if a lot of people realize it, but certainly on my side of town, in the Grove and then down Quinnipiac Avenue, there's a lot of replacement of gas pipes going on.
Yeah.
And it just kills me. They're gonna dig up my entire little circle, which is Blossom, Pequot, and Watson, which is a very popular half-mile circle that people walk their dogs in, and it's all being dug up, and it was just milled and paved a couple of years ago. And so is there any way that we could coordinate a little bit better with the gas company about when they're gonna do something like this?
We are doing that, but what happens is this, to use a business phrase, it's consumer-driven. When, even after a road gets paved, if 10 or 12 people want gas, they'll call the gas company, and if the gas company can get the majority of a street whose residents want it, they're going to do it, even if we paved the road the previous year. So what we've tried to do is coordinate it with the gas company to say, hey, look, we're paving these roads this year. Are any residents asking for gas? No. 18 months later, after the road is paved, residents are asking for gas. So it's consumer driven.
All of this paving is not hooking up gas, it's replacing old gas pipes.
Well,
There's been gas in my neighborhood. Anyone could just ask to be hooked up, it's there. So it's not hooking up people, which I could understand. It's an infrastructure project by them replacing
okay, so
old-
that's different.
It is quite different.
So here's the
And they're doing it all the way down Quinnipiac Avenue. All those little flags that you see when you drive around, you see these yellow and blue flags everywhere.
Let
Don't
me give you the
move.
reason.
Yeah,
Let me give you
okay.
the reason, okay? The first part of what I said, it's consumer-driven with the residents. The second part that Sally just mentioned, this is where, when a public utility company sees aging infrastructure that could end up leading to gas leakages or an explosion, that supersedes, even if the road was paved yesterday.
right.
Now, in conjunction with that, all over town, we're bringing in the RWA Water Company here next month because the federal government has mandated, based upon what happened in Michigan about lead in water, so that the RWA and their trading community, North Haven included, is identifying pipes that were built, that were installed with homes built in the 30s, 40s, and maybe the 50s. They're going to be replacing those pipes. That's a federal mandate. So if there was a road paved 2 months ago, and they start this project in November, that road's going to get torn up because
Yeah.
you can't have lead water.
Right.
This is the predicament sometimes of local government. Things tend to be out of our control in many respects. But that's an important distinction you make, okay?
Yes.
So there's two things going on in town.
Sure.
consumer-driven and just what we're talking about here.
I just was wondering, and I hope you don't mind me bringing up
that's
these
okay.
other issues
No, that's
kind of
okay.
related to paving, but, yeah.
It's okay.
Like on Tennyson right now, a road I drive on 5 times a day. There's the whole length of the street from Poole to the intersection with Virginia before Tennyson curves around and comes out on Layden. It's got this 2-foot wide, long, where they dug up already, replaced it, and then they put a covering over there. But is that permanent, or are they under any obligation to repave that half of the street?
So,
Do you know?
well,
Because it's just heartbreaking to see a newly paved, we paid, through our interest payment, to have that road milled and paved, and now it's got this full
Channel.
length.
is it,
Yeah.
is it sunken yet? I haven't been over to Tennessee in a
No,
while.
it's not, but it's only a matter of time, so I don't know.
So here's the way it
Will
works.
they- okay.
Here's the way it works. So if you got a road like Tennyson, and I'm very familiar with it because we put that on the list to get paved.
Yeah.
And let's say there's a mainline channel carved out for gas or water, okay? So the utility company, public utility company, has an obligation to pave the channel, what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Not to repave the entire road. So-
Well, not even the entire road, but the half where it's on,
So if that sinks, okay?
Okay.
Sometimes after 2 months or so, there's a depression, then they're obligated to go back and repave it and smooth it out. That's the way it works.
I hope so, because we repaved these roads because they had potholes and were in
Right.
such bad shape, especially Tennyson, you might recall. And I was so relieved when that road was paved, and now to see it with this long trench the whole length, it's a little heartbreaking so
Yep.
soon after it was paved. But anyway, a little coordination goes a long way. I'm sorry, so your third issue,
Oh, no, that's
Ms.
okay.
White.
No, I have
Thank you.
more related to paving.
Okay.
Where can residents look to find out the rating of their road or street and where their street is on the paving list?
Yeah, we don't have that right now.
Oh, you don't have a list?
No, we don't have that list to go, because we're not really doing it this year,
Not doing
so,
anything?
right.
Okay, so there's not one from the past that you go
No,
to?
we used to have the rating system, but now that technology is obsolete, so the engineer goes out and gives us a recommendation as to what roads he thinks should be paved. He's an expert at looking at the roads and looking at if he sees cracks horizontally. We are looking at a crack seal program. Some of the roads have these horizontal cracks in them, and crack seal is a good alternative. So we'll probably do that this year. We're trying to see if we can get that done. But there's no scientific approach. Now, with that being said, all of us mayors and first selectmen through the Council of Governments are being presented by these companies that do that for us, that install the technology so we could have a more sophisticated rating system. None of us have really signed up yet. We're still looking at to see the value and the quality of the technology.
Okay. All right, so you sort of got into my next question. So if there are areas of a street or road that has these gigantic cracks that span from one side of the road to the other side of the road, should the resident, that actually sees it,
Yep.
do we just call
Yeah,
to
call.
let the engineer know? Is that who we should call and say, hey, it's getting
Yep.
wider.
Yeah,
It's really big.
The answer is this. It should be, I understand that you can call the engineer or the Public Works Department. And I think you can say, Mike has informed us that the town is contemplating a crack seal program. Can we put our road on the list once the town initiates that program? That would be helpful.
Okay, good. That's good. And lastly, I wanted to ask about driveway aprons. So they're in the tree belt, but they are the responsibility of the homeowners, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I wanted to ask if a resident who needs to replace their driveway apron, because it's just falling apart, if the driveway apron replacement has to be asphalt, or could it be concrete?
Generally, it's asphalt. I would say it's asphalt. Now, there might be an option on concrete, but if Mary, the town rips up the apron through snow plowing,
Right,
then
right.
we replace it.
Oh,
So I want to
but
make,
how do we prove that?
well,
Because most of us are not out there videotaping when they come by,
Yeah.
and you can't even tell because
Right.
the snow and the ice, you know what I mean? And then they come by, you don't know.
but people have reported that, and we've sent Public Works out, and we have done it. We have done it, and in the years that there were paving, and next year will be another year, if Tilcon, who does the paving, tears up the aprons, we'll go back, Tilcon will go back and repair those aprons. So, but I would say this, to give you a firmer answer. I would, just be on the safe side, if concrete is the option, call the engineer and ask him his opinion. He's gonna look at the street, the traffic, the number of cars, so that's what I would say, call the engineer.
Okay, yeah, because my parents' home in Hamden, they have the concrete apron.
Yeah.
And it really is hardy. I mean,
Is it?
that thing is just, as it moved, it really is, you know, it seems to have more longevity.
Yeah.
I mean, they both passed now, but it's been there for years. I mean, decades.
See,
There's nothing going on with it.
the
So
reason-
that's why I'm kind of
Right.
wondering about it.
The reason I didn't give you a more demonstrative answer is because if this is the concrete and this is the road, if you're here, you're fine. But a lot of times, some of the aprons spill over into the town road. That's where it becomes a problem. So as long as it conforms and meets the road, but doesn't go into the town road, I think you're going to be okay. But you can check it with the engineer.
Okay.
On your question about, or the point about if a homeowner thinks a town plow, you know, snow plowing, either did damage to the apron or even to curbing, for that
Yeah,
matter. I think it would behoove the homeowner to call Public Works as soon as possible that they notice it, because they'll know, well, okay, yeah, we just had a snowstorm. You know, you don't want to wait, because you could tell a freshly created chunk. You know, there's no grass coming up, growing through the empty space. You know, if you go to them and say, look, this just happened, and there's weeds growing through, you know, chances are it didn't just happen. So, but if you call within a week of a snowstorm where there was plowing, I know that they make every effort.
Yeah.
I've had neighbors that had curbing and
Yeah.
reported it, and it was promptly repaired.
When that happens, Sally's right. We keep a log. We may have 25 aprons during the winter. Now, of course, you can't do it until the asphalt plants open up in May, but the town Public Works keeps a log of those aprons, so you're right.
Yeah,
That's the
so
way it
just
works.
report it as soon as possible, so there's no question that the town plow hooked
Yeah.
it and whatever.
Okay. all
Hope
right.
we answered your questions,
Sure.
Mary. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, good,
Thank you
okay,
very
thank
much.
you. All right. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, motion to adjourn.
I will move to
Okay.
adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next month. All right, good.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.